B. Ba. Ba. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, hi, Caitlin. Welcome to the stream. Uh, this tonight's stream's gonna be a little bit different than my usual gaming streams. In fact, we're not gaming at all tonight. This is a little experiment I wanted to try since I am a V author. It's a big part of who I am as a streamer. I thought, let's try writing a little bit of my next book as the idea for the stream. Now, originally my editor was supposed to be here. They've kind of just disappeared. I have not heard from them all day, and they're on completely like the gray icon on Discord, so I don't know what's going on there. But I've got enough of an idea for the intro for us to at least be able to get started. Again, this is something I've never done before. So, VR, oh my god, Caitlin. Alright, you know what? I'm going to switch over real quick. Chat, this needs to be captured so I can properly groan. V. Arthur. Wow. Anyway. Like I was saying, this is something I've never done before. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of kinks to work out. If Blake shows up while we're streaming, I'll make sure to get them in the call. Get them in a call. We can. Part of the idea of this was we were going to bounce ideas back and forth on each other. So we're going to have to see what happens there. But for now, let me just open up Google Docs on my phone, because this is a stream where I can just lean back in my chair. Ugh. Maybe not that far. And we can just kind of all relax together. You know what? Why don't I put on some chill music, actually? Let's see. What are we thinking? What are we thinking, chat, for some chill music? Preferably mostly copyright free, or at least from a video game. You know what? When I did my Art Tavern streams on Picardo, I would use Skyrim Tavern music. Yep. Skyrim Tavern music 10 hours. This should work. Let me just turn down the desktop audio a bit. There we go. Ooh, let me turn that down to my ears a bit, too. Alright, so, Book 6. Obviously, this is a long series, ongoing series. We've been working on this... I've been working on this series since 2015. Or, no, 2014, actually. And... originally, Book 6 was, what is now Book 5, and then Blake and I went back later, wrote a whole new Book 6, and we kind of decided, more Blake than me, kind of decided it just wasn't up to par, so we went back to the drawing board, and we've come up with a whole brand new idea for Book 6. The best way I can describe the general vibe and theme of it would be something to the effect of Frankenstein versus the Knights of the Round Table. Obviously it's a little more than just that, but we will see as this series goes on. Let's see. The X is silent. It stands for nothing. It stands for, this looks cool in the title, so we're gonna have an X there. Yeah, that makes it sound like a certain bastard, doesn't it? Anywho, let's see. Prologue. Like, wait, you don't pronounce the X in Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal? Hmm. Let's see. I want to open this like a Universal movie. I want people to feel like, kind of like with that one scene with Sarah in Book 2, or it's Book 1. dub does. Oh, okay. Like that one scene in book 2 where Sarah is describing her initial trip to Castle von Orlok. Need to recapture that energy a bit. Rubble. That was all that. Could be seen for yards. Could be seen. That's all that could be seen. All that remained of this once proud castle. It had been built by the man's ancestors over a millennia. Yeah, instead of centuries. Over a millennia. Yeah, I thought I spelled that wrong. Over a millennia ago, in the waning days of the old Roman Empire. Okay. Getting kinks? What are you talking about, kinks? This isn't smut, Caitlin. This is anime. Where? I didn't say anything about that. What? No, I didn't. Did I? Let me check the Chuba chat. Oh, something I said? If you say so, no, there's no kinks in the stream, Caitlin. We're not. This is Twitch, not Fansly. Oh God, where was I? Little more than a fort at first. It had grown over the centuries. It had expanded. Let's use the word expanded into a sprawling keep with several large towers and many hidden rooms. We're at the A. Into a sprawling keep. There we go. If I'm a little too quiet, do let me know. I don't normally speak when I'm writing, but obviously for this I could maybe turn up the gain on my mic if necessary. Let's see. Into a sprawling keep with several large towers and many hidden rooms. It had been in one of these rooms that his father had performed many macabre okay. Well, you know, that's hey, any progress is progress, but yeah, that would be hard to put a stream around. I don't know if the whole thing of this book is going to be streamed, because sometimes my writing process is I'll just do a couple paragraphs a week. Sometimes we'll do... Oh, hi, Shadow Legion, welcome to the stream. Yeah, ADHD writing process, indeed. Very. Many macabre experiments and procedures upon both living and... what genre? Urban fantasy / horror with an anime theme. On both living and dead's too easy of a word. Oh, thank you for the follow! I remember to do it for once! Upon both living and unliving. That means a little something different in this series. What about inert? Both living and inert subjects. Yeah, that could work. It had been in one of these rooms that his father had performed many macabre experiments and procedures upon both living and deceased. You know what that's a good word, Caitlin. Yeah, let's use deceased. Although, I don't know. Inert feels almost more scientific in a way. Not regarding them as even being dead, just... Yeah, you know what? Deceased is good. Deceased is good. Sometimes you overthink it and it gets too weird. So deceased is good. Deceased is good. But in one of these rooms that his father had performed many macabre experiments and procedures upon both living and deceased subjects. I feel like the sentence isn't done. Maybe something like... No. And created his fair share of horrors. Okay, that's good. And then what's decried? No, that's not the word we're looking for. Declared? No. Okay, so the next sentence is gonna be about how this is like what I mentioned before, the Frankenstein versus kind of being Frankenstein versus King Arthur bit. We're in the Frankenstein part right now, so we gotta include references to, you know, the villagers, angry mob, that good stuff. Let's see. It had been one of these horrors in... Apologies. While it's on my computer screen, I'm actually typing from my phone, so I will be fat fingering a lot of keys. One of these horrors in particular, whose escape had... It had been one of these horrors in particular. His father's so-called greatest creation. Greatest creation feels easy. His so-called magnum opus? Can you use magnum opus to describe something that isn't a story? I mean, I've only ever really heard it for stories. Oh, you can? Okay. Another so-called magnum opus that had led to the destruction of this place by the very townspeople he had... led to the destruction of this place to anywhere, because it's usually stories and art. Okay. In this case, the magnum opus is a giant flesh creature, basically. I don't want to spoil too much yet, but yeah. A Frankenstein, if you will. Let's see. It had been one of these horrors in particular, his father's so-called magnum opus, that had led to the destruction of this place. The doctor? It is a doctor we're talking about here, but let's see. The destruction is placed by the very townspeople. But... Oh, okay. By the very townspeople he had once terrorized. A little basic, but, you know. If there's one thing my series is good at, it is using cliches. It is, well, I shouldn't say using cliches, but it's, utilizing cliches when necessary. And, you know, angry mob destroying the castle, that's one heck of a good cliche. But, I don't know, this description still feels kind of basic. I mean, I know it's first draft and all, but, like, well, why am I moving? Oh, there we go, not moving. I'm worried we're gonna get Orc City vibes here. If you don't get that reference, don't worry about it. But ugh. Okay. Rabble. True. Yeah. He would not refer to them as the townspeople. Yeah. In the very by the very rabble. By the very rabble. Yeah, no, it's a good word. I'm just trying to think if there's a... By the very rabble from down below. That's too wordy. The very rabble from town. By the very village rabble he had once terrorized. No, that sounds weird. I guess just by itself is fine. I can tweak it later. Again, this is first draft, first run. We can always come back later and adjust words. This is just first draft. Now, more than... Okay, I gotta make sure this fits in. This fits in better with the... Because there's gonna be a prologue-y bit later... Well, not prologue-y, a flashback-y bit later where the... You'll understand when we get there. But I gotta make sure it fits into the timeline. So, let's see. The story takes place in the early 2020s. And so that'd be around when this is, you know... I guess this could be a few years before. He'd need time to get things working. Okay, so this could be... Let me think. We say, yeah, I guess you would call 30 plus years decades ago. Yeah, okay. Now, decades later. I'm trying to think, how do we approach the name? Because I'll be real, we have not fully settled on a name for this guy. A first name, but not a last name. Wolf placeholder. There we go. There's a last name. There's a good last name for you. Wolf placeholder had returned to his ancestral home in hopes of finding anything of his father's work which he could use to... What nationality? We never fully settled, but probably European, probably somewhere in the Germany area. Again, it's a not so subtle reference to Frankenstein and whatnot, so... So we just vaguely European. Return to his home. Anything of his father's which he could use to... Exact revenge feels too generic. Like, again, I know I know I sometimes deal in cliches, but that wording is just too easy. Wolf, what's his name? Had returned decades later. Returned to his initial home, was finding anything of his father's work, which he could use to what? Further his plans? Continue his family's dark legacy. Oh yeah, edgy. We like that. Let's see. Unfortunately, so far, it seemed that both time and opportunistic looters had picked the place clean, had long since picked the place clean of anything useful. What remained so far were mere faded scraps from old medical textbooks. The occasional rusted surgical tool or smashed laboratory device and on occasion a picked clean bone from one of the lesser creations of his father. Okay. So far, so good. Oh, that's a good paragraph. So far. Okay. When I'm doing setting these types of, oh, you know, I need to add fog. Those movies always just had fog out the wazoo. Okay, let's go back. Let's see. A good place to add the fog in the description. Actually, maybe we could add that in now. As he looked out through the crumbling remains of a tower wall, Wolf let out. How on the nose do you like to do names? I appreciate a good pun name. I hesitate to call myself a student. I strongly hesitate to call myself a student of Akira Toriyama, but I am certainly an appreciator of his work, if you could not tell. So pun names are always welcome. Let out an exasperated sigh and set himself down on a larger piece of stone masonry. Okay. What remained, okay, going back up there, amongst the fog laden stones. All that seemed to remain amongst the fog-laden stones so far were mere faded scraps from medical textbooks, the occasional surgical tool, or smashed laboratory device. Okay, yeah, that could work. Darkness would soon be falling. And here, so... I don't know, what should we say? Erstfjör, German for first and fire. Hmm? Yeah. I like that. That could work. Yeah, I'm gonna keep that one in mind. You know, I got nothing better. Yeah, let's do that. Thank you, Caitlin. Thank you very much. Alright. Yeah, we had been struggling over a last name for this guy last night. Here's so far from town. He would be at the mercy of mercy, not mercy. He would be at the mercy of both the elements and the wild beasts that still lurked in these parts. Oh, ad break in two and a half minutes or so. Perhaps, but it works for this. I mean, literally, the main character's last name is pronounced incorrectly to make it a pun off of Tachyon. Usako Takibana. Normally it'd be pronounced Tachibana, but because, you know, time magic shenanigans, it's actually, in the story, I pronounce it Takibana. Also, to be fair, Nonami's name literally came from no name. I had no name for this character. I wrote that next to the sketch, and then I thought, wait, no name, no name, Nonami. Boom, name. Then, of course, later on, I figured out a better name for her, which was Maria von Orlok, and so I made that her real name, and Nonami being her code name. I had grown too used to Nonami at that point. In hindsight, maybe should have just ditched the whole code names thing, but we're far too far in now to change that. Okay. Not all of them natural. Okay. I want to build a scene here, not have it with as little dialogue as possible. Let's see. Oh, ad is starting in 10 seconds, folks. Sorry about that. Can't turn it off for these streams, but I will still be writing during the break, because this will be going on YouTube as an archive of this book's being written process. Words. I words good. I promise. I words good when it matters. Sorry. Let's see. I should mention he's sitting to rest for a moment. His legs now re-energized for the time being. For the time being! It's always such a funny funny sentence. Not a sentence, just a set of words. For the time being! Anyway, his legs now re-energized for the time being. Wolf stood back up, and in doing so, caught... No, word that a little better. And the... Okay, so what's gonna happen here... Oh, show it till the ad's done. So, but what I'm trying to do here is, the idea is his weight from being on the thing, on that stone, shifted things, and him getting back up is going to cause the stones, which are essentially kind of just held in place by friction, to kind of go out from under him. So let's see. Okay, maybe Wolf began to rise back to his feet, only for the piece of parapet he had been seated upon to begin sinking into the ground. Before this realization could even pass through the man's head, the rest of the ground around him began to sink as well. I feel like there's a better way of wording that. Before this realization could even pass through the man's head, more stones around him began rapidly sinking as the force of friction that had held them in place these many years as the keystone that had held them in place these many years finally gave way to a pit opened wide to a pit in the earth opened wide to consume him. Oh, there's Blake. 1 second, folks. My editor might be joining us soon. Oh, good, good. Let's see. Only half an hour in or so. Plenty of time for you. This will be good because Blake has the notes. This is What I am writing right now is literally just memory from vibes I got from our discussion the other night, which I really wish we had streamed / recorded, because we were busting ass after ass coming up with ideas for this book. It was great. Okay. A pit in the earth opened wide to consume him, and all Wolf could do was close his eyes in acceptance of his fate. When, after several moments, he realized he was still still alive. Oh, hold on. One second. Nope. Literally just hop in call. My end does all the work. You only need that open if you're changing reactive. They're still getting used to using reactive PNGs, so I was just informing them. Alright, we could say it's still alive, but I feel like there's a better way of wording it. Let's see. When, after several moments, he realized he still existed? I want it to be maybe not necessarily funny, but to like have a little bit more wit to it than just was still alive. He could still feel anything at all. Yeah, that works. When, after several moments, he realized he could still feel anything at all, he opened his eyes opened once more to reveal a wondrous sight. A secret, a sub-basement, a secret sub-basement, not on any records of this place from any era. Though some of the machinery showed signs of age and water damage, it was clear that this place was where his father's true experiments were I'll fix that word spelling in a second. Conducted. The exam tables still bore multi-colored stain. Spell the word stains twice. Multicolored blood stains. Yeah, should probably be clear. Because some races have red blood, some have blue, some have green. It's a whole thing. The tools all still hung on their respective racks as if awaiting use. as if they had been waiting for this very day. In the corner, kept far away from the other. Okay. Blake will be joining us here in a second. They just want to say, I hope you're not expecting me to have an intro beyond a hello. So they're just going to say hi, and then we're going to get right back into work here. One moment, please. I will also pause the music for a sec. Waiting on Blake to join the call. Oh my god, my reactive is huge. Why is my reactive... Why is it here and why is it huge? Wah! Caitlin, do you know if there's a way to turn off my reactive when I'm doing something like this? Because I could not find that on the site. Okay, it looks like Blake's here, but they are muted.
Hi, hello.
Okay. You're gonna definitely want. Well, you're definitely gonna want to speak up a bit, Blake, because we've had some music we've been playing, and you're very quiet.
Whoops. How's that? Is that a
Eh,
bit better?
the chat's saying you're very quiet.
Mm. Okay.
Hold on. Let me wait. Let me. Probably
How's
help if I
this?
turn my headphones all the way up. Try again.
Hi, hello. Blake. Yeah.
I think I had the knob turned the wrong way. Try again.
Hello. Hi, Blake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're good. I okay, I turned the knob on the headphones
Okay.
and then suddenly you're like, "Hi, this is Blake." And I'm like, "Wait, what?" So I turned it the complete other way that time. Okay. Okay, we are good.
Cool, cool.
Everyone, this is my editor slash co-author Blake. They are awesome.
Hello. I'm not awesome, but hello.
You are a liar. Oh, Kaylin is saying still quiet. Uh,
Um,
let me turn up Discord audio or desktop audio. Won't be able to have the music at this with the, like this though, because I don't want it blasting over me talking. I
mm.
had some so I was playing some Skyrim Tavern music. But yeah, me and Blake, we work really well together as a team on this series. So I thought, since we're doing this as a stream, why don't I bring them on board? Uh, just as a little practice. I don't know. Totally depends on Blake if we'll continue doing it like this. I'm hoping we do though. Anyway, Blake, as you can see, I've done
Mm.
some writing already.
Right, yep.
Caitlin actually
So
suggests
this is the same with the...
the opening scene with the castle ruins. Yes.
Yeah.
Caitlin actually suggested
Okay.
a good last name for the character, which I have
Oh,
popped.
yeah?
Yeah. Oh, you're kind of covering the books, the text now. Okay, I'm gonna move you. Except, shit. Okay, you can't understand for me talking, but chat understands why I just said that. Oh, brother.
Ah.
Alright, I'm gonna bring up Fujitech real quick, and I need to see if there is a way for me to turn off my model on this.
Well, in the
Uh,
meantime, hi, chat. Hi, VOD viewers, how we doing? Do y'all like reading? I sure hope so, because we got lots of books over here. Uh,
yes.
5 of them, to be exact, at the moment.
Let's see. I can't find the button, if there is a button. Uh, Butts poop. Okay, I might have a stupid idea here. Give me one sec, chat. Give me one sec. I've got an idea. It is dumb, but it might it might work. It might work. Okay. Go open up paint, canvas, transparent canvas. Brushes. Oh, wait, crop. Just make it a square just to be safe. Brushes. I just do doot. Save as. And we're just gonna call this BS because that's about all that it is some BS. But if this works, Pogs in chat. I think this is actually going to work, and I'm scared. Oh, I gotta name it. Yes! It worked! I am too smart for my own good. Help me. Okay, so what I did was I opened up Paint, transparent canvas, and then I just drew a tiny blue line. You can see it there at the bottom of the screen. And then since this is only like from the shoulders up anyway, you you can't see it. It's
Wow.
not getting in the way. Your girl's a genius. Clip that Nightbot. That is the perfect time. Clip that shit.
Guys, I think that's probably worthy of a follow. If you're lurking, you might want to follow for amazing, intelligent moments like that.
They are few and far between, but by the 9 divines, when they happen, they make me feel smart. And thank you for clipping that, Caitlin. All right,
Alrighty.
now let's get back to why y'all are here,
Sure.
writing books. So, Blake, if you want to just, I don't know if you
Alright.
had a chance to read what I've written so far.
I was waiting for you to come back. Let's have a look through this. So, Rebel was all that could be seen.
Yes,
Have we established at all, like, I know we were kind of talking about this on and off. Have we established kind of like what country this is going to be taking place in?
it's funny you mentioned that. Caitlin was asking earlier. We've not established in the book, but I've decided vaguely
Right.
Germano-European.
Okay. Okay.
So that kind of area. It's up for debate. We've given the guy a German name, but could be Austrian,
Oh,
could
yep. I
be,
see it.
yeah.
Okay.
Again, that last name was Caitlin's suggestion, and it was a very good suggestion. And if you are in
I
chat
like it. I like it.
and you've got any suggestions, feel free to drop them. Anyone that drops a suggestion in chat will be included in the special thanks at the beginning of the book. In fact, I'm gonna do that right now.
Just a thought here. So we have this little bit here. Now decades later, blah blah blah, had returned to his ancestral home in hopes of finding anything of his father's work, which he could use to continue his family's dark legacy. Now, if we're thinking about this from the perspective of the character here, would he himself consider it a dark legacy?
To a degree, because I mean, it doesn't really matter how twisted you are. If you're like digging up
Right.
corpses, you're making biological monsters like that. You've kind of gotta understand. Yeah, you're doing some dark shit.
Right,
There's,
fair. It's just I bring that up because we mentioned kind of yesterday, the idea that like, what he's doing is more of like something that his father wanted him to do, right? Is like if I'm ever locked away or sealed away or whatever, or something happens to me, go here, do this, yada yada yada. So
sure.
I'm just wondering, obviously, because this is a point of view of the character that we're using here. I'm just trying to get into his mindset. Does he think that it's that bad enough
I
to be calling it a dark legacy?
definitely.
Maybe
I
dark
think
is
at first he definitely will, because like I said, we're gonna try to go with a
yeah.
almost like a darker
Okay.
twist on Young Frankenstein, where at first he's reluctant to do this, but then
Okay.
he
Yeah,
kind of
that
gets
makes sense.
he kind of has the it could work moment. But like I said, it's a darker twist on the idea.
So far as seeing that
Again,
both
we still
timely
gotta
and
watch that movie.
opportunistic. Others had long since picked the place clean of anything useful. All that seemed to remain among the fog-laden stones so far were the mere faded scraps from old medical textbooks, occasional rusty surgical tool, or smashed lab device, and on occasion a picked clean bone from one of the lesser creations of his father. As he looked out through the crumbling remains of the tower wall, Wolf let out an exasperated sigh and set himself down on a larger piece of stone masonry to rest for a moment. Darkness would soon be falling, and here, so far from town, he would be at the mercy of both the elements and the wild beasts that still lurked in these parts. Not all of them natural. Okay, okay. Very evocative, very strong. I would say a good level of prose
Thank you.
in this opening part. It feels I I can visualize it pretty well. I think that's pretty good.
Thank you.
And now let's move on to the next part. Let's
My
see.
only
His
regret
legs now
was that
re-energized.
the. I'll tell you later.
Yeah, no, go on.
I was gonna say my only regret was that I didn't have the fog be more evocative. Because like I was saying in chat earlier,
Hmm,
those old movies, there is so much fog in those movies. It's great.
that's fair,
That'd be the only
but
thing I'd want to add if I could find a way to add it.
okay, okay. Well, here's a couple of things to consider, right? We
Yeah,
want to spend time establishing more so the interior and stuff, right?
yeah.
So I think it's fine that we aren't worrying too much about the outside setting, unless we're like, um, I guess, unless we see him going in or coming out, it might not be too much of a problem to worry about. Stuff like the fog and like, the surrounding area. But I guess we could add in something like, well, okay, how would you describe like the fog in those movies, right? Like other than there's a lot. Would it be like
It's thick.
foreboding,
Usually, yeah,
heavy?
yeah, heavy. Yeah, that's two very good words for it. They would usually be It would usually be more like crawling along the ground, or like a
Yeah,
foggy, or in
yeah.
like a foggy forest.
Okay. Maybe we could describe it as alive.
Ooh, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah.
Okay, let's see. His legs now re-energized for the time being, Wolf began to rise back to his feet, only for the piece of parapet that he had been seated upon to begin sinking into the ground. Before this realization could even pass through the man's head, more stones around him began rapidly sinking as the keystone that he had held Oh, as the keystone that had held them in place these many years finally gave way, a pit in the earth opened wide to consume him, and all Wolf could do was close his eyes in acceptance of his fate. When, after several moments, he realized he could still feel anything at all, he opened his eyes once more to reveal a wondrous sight, a secret sub-basement, not on any records of this place from any era. Any might be repeated here a couple of times too much, I think. Maybe we could swap
Okay.
um hang on, let me try to read this through my head. Not on any records of this place from any era. Hmm.
Not in. Hmm.
Hmm. Give that some thought. I could just be like
No, I wasn't sure of the
over
line.
worrying about that, but yeah.
I wasn't fully sure of the line either when I wrote it. It's one of those where it works for the moment, but we might go back to fix it later. And now we are
Yeah.
already.
Okay. Put a oops. Let me put a pin in that. Where's oh my god, I use Google Docs. I definitely do. Where's that comment? There we go. Okay, cool. Let's just mark that for later.
Okay.
Um, okay, let's see. Though some of the machinery showed signs of age and water damage, it was clear that this place was where his father's true experiments were conducted. The exam tables still bore multicolored bloodstains, the tools all still hung on their respective racks, as if they had been waiting for this very day. I like this. This is pretty good. I like this line.
Sweet. And then the next scene is going to be mentioning the computer bank, a computer bank, which is where the controls for the you know what's would be.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. In the corner, kept far away from the other. Okay, cool. So, what are we feeling at the moment
I'll, I'm feeling I'm going to keep.
overall, like for this?
I'm feeling pretty strong about what I've written so far.
Yep, yep. I'm liking it.
Yeah,
I mean, it's obviously very early on. We're like
two
sub
paragraphs in.
500 words in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're not
Oh,
yeah
by
two
the way,
paragraphs in and it's the prologue. Yeah.
do you know how to open up the word count
Not on mobile
in
where
Google Docs?
not on mobile where I'm typing this.
Okay. Um, Let me see if I can quickly. I'm gonna open up your stream. I might cut out here for a bit.
All
Excuse me
good.
for a moment.
All good. While they do that, I'm going to continue this line in the corner, kept far away from the other machines and I don't know if I want to use the word doodads. Devices. I do like the word doodads though. It's a good word. Just not for this scene. The other machines and devices was an antiquated computer bank. Oop, ad starting in 3 minutes. Caitlin says it will be behind Blake on stream if you have it on stream. Was an antiquated computer bank
That is correct.
with
But
a.
if you do want to open it up, oh, sorry.
Okay, what are those monitors called that are like, it's like the green monochrome? Like the green and black?
Oh God, it's
Or the black and green? Like the
on the top
black with the green
of my
text.
head. Let me
Let's see who gets it first. Blake or chat? If you know it, tell me in chat, and we'll get your name in the special thanks, or your Twitch name at least. With a mono with a because yeah, monochrome is not the right word. That's black and white. Mono green. I don't think that's it. Like not the Game Boy type. That's like green and black. Actually, it's more like the asparagus pea. Monochrome just means single color. Oh, actually, you're right. Yeah, it
yeah,
does, doesn't it?
yeah. No, monochrome. I'm pretty sure is the right term for that.
Oh, well, I feel silly. I've always been under the impression monochrome was, black and white, but actually, literally, mono, one, chrome, color. Yeah, yeah, makes sense. So, would we call it a green monochrome screen? Or
No, I think you could get away with just calling it a monochrome screen.
monochrome display?
You could then get away with that by just saying like
Green.
green text
Yeah.
flashed on screen or whatever.
Or something like that. I remember at
Yes.
one point you had mentioned this doctor character being comparable to that one doctor from the Marvel movies.
Right,
Zola?
yes, Arnim Zola.
Okay.
Yes.
That's and his face is on a computer screen. I'm thinking maybe there's like, well, it's not the father doctor himself. Some recording of him could come up on the display, maybe.
Yeah,
Well, what do you think of it?
that makes sense. It'd give a very it, in a kind of perverse way, it's giving Superman in the Fortress of Solitude vibes as well.
Ooh,
So,
yeah, it kind
you
of
know,
does. Yeah,
pretty
no,
strong
I like that. I like that.
pretty strong evocative imagery.
Okay, okay. Hey, chat, real quick. Are our audios about equal? Is the thing about that old of a PC? While fair, we do have the advantage of magic being a thing in this universe, and we can just chalk it up to, "A wizard did it." No, but
Yeah,
yeah.
that's true. That's true, but let's try and minimize that unless we really have nothing.
Yeah. Audio is good currently. You're a little louder, but not by too much. Okay, that's fine. I'm a very
Hey,
loud
good to hear.
person.
Good to hear.
I'm loud by nature anyway, so. And I'm wearing sound. I'm also wearing sound canceling headphones, so I am almost certainly shouting. And to me, I sound like I'm just talking normally, but I can kind of feel it in my throat that I'm actually shouting. So, okay, as he approached. Oh, ad has started. As he approached, the display. We'll use this. We'll just remove the word display from this.
Yeah.
Yeah. As he approached, the display flickered to life in a flash of green. In a. What of green? Why is there a question mark there?
Oh, I'm just because it's more of a suggestion, but I didn't want to open up the
Oh.
suggestions.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, we should. Anything you
Yeah.
would suggest, we should have that needs to be vocal instead of in the suggestions. Flickered back
Yeah.
as the display
Okay. Look.
flickered on. Um,
Hmm. We want some strong imagery here, right? Because it's a pretty important set piece.
yeah,
So
slowly,
flick it on is just like,
slowly. Oh, okay, Caitlin, take care. All right, let's see. Slowly flickered on.
hmm,
Uh, slowly flickered on. Uh, okay, so the image I have in my head, right? You know when you like it.
yep,
This would be more for like an old like tube TV. You know when you would turn those off, or even on, and it would take a few seconds for the picture to actually start displaying? Or when you turn it off, there's
yes,
like a residual kind of image there for just a few seconds?
yeah,
I'm thinking
yeah. It's
some.
kind of like, yeah, I see what you mean in my head.
Yeah. Flickered on,
Hmm.
fading in.
Maybe we need a an auditory thing here. So like a hum is rising
I
with it
was
as it
literally,
flickers on.
literally, yes. The display flickered on. And a low hum?
Low staticky hum.
Low staticky. I don't think I spelled that right. Staticky? Would that be how you'd spell it?
Hang on, let me see. Static filled. Hang on, static. Whoa.
There we go. That's a good one.
Uh,
Began to permeate the air or area.
Hmm.
Which is more evocative?
Probably air.
Okay. As the light of the do we use the word display? Should we keep using the word display or use a different word?
Screen. I'd say use screen here. It's in
Okay.
enough
Okay.
space since
The light of the
it was last used.
screen
Or monitor.
as the light of the screen became more not visible, became more coherent, became more oh
Hmm. Is the light of the monitor?
brightened,
Yeah. Yeah,
brightened.
sometimes simple.
A shape began to coalesce from the
Mm,
other from what would otherwise be random patterns. I feel like there's a better way of wording this sentence.
hmm.
From the from the at first random patterns. You get to coalesce the
No, hang on. From the mess of random patterns.
from the mess of random patterns. Perfect.
Okay.
At first,
Um,
it was barely recognizable, but then no, merely a rough circular form. Trying not to use the word shape a second time.
yep, yep.
But then familiar features, familiar if familiar if not distorted features be
Uncanny?
distort. I think distorted works better because they're
Yeah.
they'd be they'd be rendered kind of weird by the fact that it's limited to like. See, I'm torn between this being like an image and it being like borderline ASCII art. You know,
Hmm.
like
Yeah.
it could be like a combination of both, like light patterns with ASCII art.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I can kind of see something like that.
Yeah. Recognizable merely rough circular form. The familiar, if not distorted, features began to manifest upon. We'll use the word shape again now. What should the father's name have been? Do
What did I
we?
end up calling him in that document?
Yeah, look that up. That could work. I was also thinking we could potentially pull from the Universal movies. Just have him straight up just be named Henry.
Well, yeah, yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
Either, excuse me, either works. I just, yeah. In no. Oh, oh shit, Blake.
Yeah.
It can't scroll down. I just realized.
What do you
I
mean?
the document on the
Um,
capture. I don't I don't know if this can let me let me see here, folks. Let me see if I can
let me have
like
a look.
properties copy paste. Let me just see if I can affect this at all. Scrolling down. Oh, this is unfortunate. um Oh, okay. Uh huh.
That's interesting. I'm not sure why that would at all be a thing. Let me have a look. View.
I'm sure if Zero is here, she could help. Um, let me test
Okay,
one. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna
I'll
test.
let you test first, and then I'll. Yeah.
No, it does nothing. Okay. I just wanted to add a. I added a bunch
Okay.
of spaces to see if that would like auto scroll the page. It did not.
Do you have the? Can you click something called the view button up the top?
On OBS?
No, on docs.
Oh, yes.
Okay, hit that and hit full screen and see if that changes anything.
Uh, nope.
Okay. Hmm.
Sorry, chat. I did not know this would happen. I kind of thought it would just kind of scroll with us. Uh, hmm.
Technical difficulties
Yep.
part of the
This
package.
this is the first one of these we've done. If you couldn't tell. If anybody in chat knows a way to fix this, by all means, let me know. Well,
Well, I guess we'll just keep hacking away at it. We'll just be very vocal about what we're writing
I mean, I have been writing
for the
everything I've
time
been,
being.
yeah, everything I've been writing, I've been narrating more or less.
Yeah,
So,
fair, fair, fair.
um, but yeah, no, this is. How do I get it out of full screen? By the way.
Escape. You have an escape button
Ah, yes.
on whatever you're using. Yep, there you go.
Rico fix. Rico fix. Um.
All right. Let's see. But then familiar, if not distorted features, begin to manifest upon the shape. Right. So we're probably now at the point
Oh.
where we kind of need to
Oh.
describe what
Oh. Oh.
this
Oh. I
is.
figured it out. I figured it out. I'm so smart. I figured it out.
Nice.
There's an interact button. So
Well, there you go.
I can directly scroll the page. I'm so smart.
There you go.
Yay! Okay, I can close this tab now. And this tab. And why is my bitrate in the trash? Average stream bitrate too high. What the heck? Okay, we're not gonna worry about that right now. Rico, no worry about that right now. Actually, instead, let's just continue working on the book, shall
Yep.
we? Scrolling when necessary. Okay. As he approached, the display slowly flickered on, and a low static-filled hum began to permeate the air. As the light of the monitor brightened, a shape began to coalesce from the mess of random patterns. At first, it was barely recognizable, merely a rough circular form, but then familiar, if not distorted features began to manifest upon the shape.
Okay. How do we want to describe this? Like lines of uh green lines taking on um facial features, stuff like that, because you describe the idea of it being kind of like ASCII art.
Yeah, so yeah, like a combination of the two. Yeah.
Hmm.
Was the appearance was by all rights Wolf's late father, Doctor. What name are we going with?
We'll just do Henry for now.
Okay, Henry.
If that sticks, it sticks.
If it does, yes. What was the? How do I spell that last name? Erst. Okay, Erstfeuer. Feuer. Albeit. Albeit. Albeit what? Difficult to recognize. Albeit somewhat difficult to recognize through the. How do you spell
Yep,
ASCII?
there we go.
Is it?
ASCII, and it's all capitals.
Oh, the ASCII facial features superimpose, superimposed, imposed, superimposed upon the face on the monitor.
Maybe we get rid of facial here.
Okay. I feel like this. I've mentioned it a couple times now. Well, that although there should be no dialogue in this part, I think we can make an exception for the recording. But I like
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
keeping it kind of mysterious. You know, we don't want to give this guy a voice just yet.
Yeah.
But if it's a recording, that can definitely be made ominous. It helps. I've read a lot of like gothic literature lately, a lot of like ghost stories and stuff. So I am
Yeah.
well in the right mind space to write something like this.
Yeah. That's fair.
Actually, it's funny. One of the ones I wrote was read. Actually, I didn't realize halfway through it takes place in Australia. It
Huh.
was
Oh, there you
something
go.
something with the Colo River or mountains or something. It,
Oh, yeah. That's
it,
ringing a bell.
yeah, and then they're talking about like governors and somebody named Brisbane and mentions of like what was the word they used? But like criminals. And I was like, oh wait,
Oh,
this
yeah.
is
Yeah.
they're talking about Australia. Oh, okay. I should be reading this in an Australian accent. Okay, because it kind of threw me off because the name of the 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 ghost that the story was kind of about had like an Italian name, so I thought it was in Mexico or something. Because Mexico Spanish and Italian names are similar sounding, at least in
Right.
this case. Anyway, getting distracted. Sorry. um, when it
Okay,
spoke.
so he sees the face.
No, I should say that.
Yeah.
It.
Maybe. I wonder if we could do something here because a thought just came to mind. We probably want a reaction shot,
Yeah,
right?
from
And
Wolf.
I
Yeah.
wonder if we could do. Yeah, I wonder if we could do something like. This is just the rough idea that came to mind. His reaction is like we write it down as he stared at the screen or something like that. Only one thought came to mind. It's alive,
Oh,
which would be in
ah!
response to the image speaking.
I like that. I like that. I like that. Oh yes. Okay. Okay. For a moment, Wolf dared not even breathe. So much was his shock at what he was seeing. Could it be? Had his father. Okay,
Transcended.
hold on.
This
Here.
has to be transcended
That's.
if we're doing the like.
What if that's his goal? Wolf's goal, ultimate goal in this is to transfer his consciousness into something. Like what his father ended up just being more of a recording. Like there's no sentience, there's no consciousness there.
Okay,
But
but why would he want to do that?
immortality, duh.
Yeah, but like, what's his goal with that? Right? Like his father, I could understand because he was like beaten down by the world, um, and all that. He has a reason to want to keep persisting so he can keep um having enough time to cause trouble for these people that wronged him. I don't know if we have a through line for that with this character. However, I will suggest what I first thought I heard you say, which was that he wants to transfer what he thinks is his father's consciousness into a living body.
No, that's not what I was going to suggest.
No, no, I know, but I was just like saying like that as a
Okay,
suggestion there.
okay.
Um it's just I'm not sure why this character would want immortality.
Why would anyone want immortality? To see everything, to see all that will be. Like that,
Sure, but
for
like,
that,
is
like
that in
that's why I want immortality. I'm a big history nut. I want to watch history happen.
right? Fair, but I wonder if that's what drives this character.
Fair, fair. Um,
Anyway,
hmm.
let's continue.
Yeah. Had his father achieved hmm, had his father achieved immortality by transferring his consciousness? Yes.
Okay, that feels a bit too strongly
Yeah.
tell the audience.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Had his father done the impossible?
Yeah, there you go. Oop.
Was he even now still part of this world? Though his
Maybe realm?
realm, relam, realm, though his living body had long since turned to dust. When the mouth of the face opened and began to speak,
Yeah, there you go.
however, Wolf had his answer. If you are hearing this message, should it be vague, or should it be like a vague to his descendants, or should it be directly directed to Wolf? What do you think?
How old is Wolf?
As old as he needs to be for this. I haven't settled on an age. In my head, I'm seeing like 30s or
I think it has to
40s.
be. I think it has to be direct.
Okay. If you are hearing this message, my son, it means
The worst has come to pass.
I was going to say you have found your birthright.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It means you have found.
But then, like, I think, hmm,
Let
I'm
me
just,
continue. Let me
yeah,
continue,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
you decide.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You have found your birthright, and I am gone from this world. In this place, I have done many things that, in quotes, proper society would call the devil's work. I have created life from the lifeless, crafted machines decades, if not centuries, beyond what he wouldn't say mere humans because he's a human.
Maybe beyond imagination is
No, it's
simple enough here for this.
created decades, not centuries beyond what originally is what mere human scientists could imagine. I guess that
What the
works too.
scientists of today. Oh, no, no, no. What the
Beyond
scientists of today could imagine.
what the
Because,
science,
he's recording this in,
true, what the scientists.
oh, of my age.
That's exactly what I was saying. Of
Yeah.
my day could ever dream of. And yet, I. No. no doubt, no doubt, you know some of what I have done. Though, I can't type.
Mhm.
There we go. Though you've likely heard it through the okay. The initial wording that comes to my mind is through the veil of your mother's words. Obviously, that's not
Mm.
through the. The idea is his mother would be, not approving of any of this, would be disgusted with it. So she talks.
Mm.
She'd essentially be talking shit about him, decrying his work.
Eh, maybe it's though you've likely heard it filtered through the words of those who
Through,
judge me.
oh, I got it. Through the reflected hurt filtered through the disdain of your mother.
Okay.
So your mother, comma, or any of the other naysayers who would oppose true progress. Oh, ad coming up in 3 minutes, chat, just as a heads up. I am here to tell you that there is nothing. No.
No.
Yeah.
No, I feel like Dr. Henry is the type of person who knows that it's wrong, but it's necessary.
Yeah. I am not here to tell you that I have done no wrong. For I have done no wrong. For that would be. Mm, for that would be just as grand a lie as you've heard from the others. I make no apologies for the what my work has caused, for the
I think grief works here.
grief, maybe. Okay, for the grief and pain my work has caused, but it has resulted in a success so grand that it. Okay, what's that expression? Oh, when it's like ends justify the means. Okay, but it has resulted in success so
Hmm.
grand that its means more than justify its ends.
Okay.
Though you
You.
though you may have been one of my. And that implies he made him in the lab. So I'm not gonna say though you may have been one of my creations. You were not the greatest.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, plus, you wouldn't say that to your kid if you're trying to get them to carry on your work. Okay. Even
Maybe
now,
it's like
even now, there are there are those. Even now, though, there are those who do not, cannot, or will not understand. There we go. And they close in on me. Us. You must find my
Maybe this
greatest
gets a
creation.
line break here.
Line break? Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I think we get one here.
Okay.
So
I
maybe this recording, so I'm just thinking so how we can determine the rest of this. Maybe this recording is like done right as he is completing you know who.
yeah. Okay, okay, I got it. If my plan has worked as I know it will, I have created a truly immortal being. So he's referring to you know who. A
Yeah.
Promethean. Should we drop that immediately? That name immediately?
No, I think we can be vague about it
Okay.
for this, right? And just let the reader figure out if they have the knowledge of that.
Okay. Something something built of my own hands. Something built of my own hands and of myself. Now that wording doesn't work. Something built of my own hands. A creature who Okay, I want to try to come up with something poetic here. The idea being a creature
Okay.
who has once known death and never shall again.
Hmm.
A creature who has once known death yet never shall again.
Maybe okay, maybe it's like because I really am drawn to him using the word oblivion in place of death. So maybe it's something like
Oh, who has
a
once known
creature who has
oblivion.
maybe not known. Maybe it's like a creature who has once faced oblivion.
Touched oblivion.
Oh, okay. Yep, yep, yep.
Creature who has once touched
Oh,
oblivion. Good game, by the way. Yet never shall reach its dark shores again. Dark shites. Oops. God, my fat fingers just create some interesting typos sometimes.
I can go back and fix typos. It's fine.
Yeah.
I think this
Yet,
bit should be ended with perfect.
yet even now, those forces. No,
This feels repetitive, right?
yeah,
Because yeah,
yeah.
yeah. We now need the call to action, I think, rather than rehashing anything.
Okay. He won't call her a she.
Yeah, yeah,
Though
yeah.
it will live on for all time, I know I will not. And though my work is perfect, it cannot be repeated without how do we word this? Without
What are you
your
thinking?
the idea being that I got a few things. Without like the idea is that the creature can't make more of itself. It needs someone to create more of it, basically. To
Mm.
repeat the process, to record the process. Or at least I mean not record it, but like to improve.
Okay, I thought of something here. We might need to completely reword this part, but I'm thinking of something that's like a musical motif here, right? It's like,
Okay.
although my work is as grand as a symphony, even the greatest pieces can't be replicated without its conductor, you.
And that task falls to you. Okay. Okay, write what you just said. Write what you just said.
Okay, shit, I gotta remember what I said.
Damn it, Blake!
Though my work is as grand as a symphony, even the best pieces, or even the best compositions, cannot hmm,
Cannot be
be
replicated.
replicated without the conductor.
That task now falls to you. Take my research. Find my creation, for I know it still lives, even now, and create and use this knowledge to show the world. Show the world what?
Hmm. No, maybe it's and use this knowledge to punish the world
To
rather than
punish
show them.
those short sighted fools who would deny humanity her progress, who would deny humanity the next stage of evolution.
No, I think her progress works.
Okay. Anything else we want to have him say, or should we move on? I've got an idea of
Well,
how of what the next scene will be
the
once he's done
sun
talking.
the sun needs like an identifier for what he's looking for, right? So maybe a name or a code name.
Well, I was thinking that when the recording is done, a cabinet
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
on the
Yeah.
machine
All
will
right.
open
Yeah.
up and the research will be in there.
Okay. Yeah. Let's go with that.
As the recording finished speaking, a cabin, a small, hold on, a small cabinet on the computer bank egg swung open to reveal a loosely bound sheaf of papers with great care and trepidation.
Yep.
Trepidation. Wolf's hands reached for the research notes. The dusty research notes. Okay. Uh, though the paper was brittle with age. No, yellowed with age. It was surprisingly sturdy.
Study. Yeah. Yeah.
It was surprisingly sturdy, not crumbling the way one might expect. The way one might expect in this situation,
Yeah.
given the situation.
There you go. In the situation.
Okay, now now you know who in the original version of the flashback scene where Nanami and crew beat her, they brought her into
Yeah.
custody. Did we agree to change that for this and have it be that she's essentially in the rubble? They didn't realize she was immortal, so they left
Yeah.
her
I feel like.
inactive in the
Yeah.
rubble. Okay.
Yeah. I feel like that makes more sense for this
So
story.
we should probably pull a movie cliche and just have some of the nearby rubble crumble to reveal like she's was in the wall or something.
I've
Thought?
actually got a thought about that. Instead of her just being in the rubble, I feel like she might have something that's like. So obviously this guy deals with machines and stuff, and it's my assumption that like some kind of nanomachine is running her or was running her at some point. I feel like she
Um.
has a function where it's like if she sustains so much damage, she has to return to a certain place, is my thought, right? That it was like hardwired into her to return to a place that she has been told is safe if she gets damaged. So I think
Okay.
instead of, because I'm gonna be honest, I think just leaving her in the rubble and doing the movie cliche is like a bit too lazy for this. I think there should be some, but maybe not lazy, but like it's very convenient.
Well, that's part of the fun of those movies. But yeah, okay.
Well, true, but
And is it
different
this?
medium.
Is it? I mean, this is kind of a little bit of a love letter, but okay. Um. Okay, so I like what you're thinking. Here's here's what I was also kind of thinking.
Mhm.
What about instead of okay, maybe she's not in the rubble. What if she's like impaled on something in the room? Like
Mm,
they left her there like that. Like I could very easily see Elmi just kind of like a big piece of like piping, just kind of throwing her into it, gets impaled, turns
maybe it's something
off,
that
and they think well it's over and done with.
okay. It should probably be something that's like uh through her head, right? If it's like
Yes, because the
shot
brain,
her off, so to
because the
speak.
because the
Yes.
I was thinking either brain or heart, but yeah. Okay.
Well, given what this guy's research has done, I think it makes more sense that what would shut her down would be something with her
Cran-
brain. So
Cranial. Yeah. Okay.
now the question is, how do we naturally reveal that? Because the way the doctor's saying is like, oh, find my greatest creation or whatever. The expectation we've set up before this is that the son is going to go on this grand journey to find his greatest creation.
True.
And
Thanks for
then we're
hold on,
immediately
Blake.
undermining it.
Hold on, Blake. Hold on, Blake. Thank you for the follow.
Yep.
Apologies for my Spanish. El poeta maldito. We are working on my sixth book. Just
Hello, hello, welcome.
me and my editor. We're kind of getting close to the end of the prologue here. So yeah, we're going. Oh, I've been going for close to 2 hours now. Sweet.
Not bad.
Yeah. Let's see.
Uh, am I good to continue my train of thought?
Yeah, we're gonna continue. Sorry about that. Yeah.
No problem, no problem. Okay, yeah, so the expectation set up by the paragraph previously is that Wolf is going to be going on this grand journey to find his father's greatest creation, right? That's the whole point of this. Now we're immediately going to undermine that by saying that you know who is right here. So I feel
Yeah.
like maybe we should change the wording in this paragraph to,
Okay.
instead of it being like setting up the expectation that the son's going to be looking for this for a while. Maybe it should be um
Instead of use my creation. That might work better. That might work better.
yeah, because that
No.
implies that the creation will be here at least, rather than,
Right.
find implying.
I apologize, my friend. I don't speak much Spanish. I I'm sorry. I don't quite. I know what hola means. I no entiendo. I don't know what that means. I'm so sorry. Yeah, you know what? I got a translator app. Let me open that. Uno momento, por favor. No, I don't want Japanese. The Spanish. English. Oh, wait. Oh, you don't understand. Okay. Uno momento. Uno momento. No. No hablan español. No. Little bit, but. Hold on. One sec. No hablo con fluidez. Lo siento. Lo siento. Oop. Oh. Uh, see. They do that when muted. All right, Blake, are you ready to keep going?
Yep, all good.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, the use my creation. That works better than find.
I've got another thought I want to throw in here. Um, Maybe in the beginning of this scene, we have Wolf see what he thinks is a statue that we later now have him realize is you know who.
Oh, okay.
Because you mentioned the idea.
todo está bien, amigo. Todo está bien. Thank God for Google Translate.
Right, because you've come up with the idea of them being impaled. So possibly in the dim lighting, he just thinks
It's
if he
a
passes this,
it's a freaky statue.
yeah. And then he sees the same figure in the research notes and is like, "Huh, that's interesting. Let me go take a look at that." And realizes it's actually you know who.
Okay.
Why are we fucking saying you know who
It's a
as if we're gonna like name drop f- uh Frankenstein's monster?
yeah.
Anyway, so well, but then at the same time, that might just be like, it, mm, let's see, where would we even put this? Yeah, yeah, I don't know how I feel about the statue thing now that I'm thinking about it.
No, I think that's we don't want to linger on it, but it should definitely be
It works, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know, I'm like 50-50 on it, to be
I
honest.
mean, he if I'd assume she'd also be covered in dust. And if it's in a dark corner, it's like, you know, you wouldn't you wouldn't be able to tell right away that it's not a statue.
I think I've got a better way of doing it, right? Like, surely, um, there should be a general, uh, aroma of decay, I think, in the area.
Okay, we should probably go back and add that rather than have it be in there now.
Yeah.
Okay,
And I
let's
think
see.
maybe that is the hint of the undead being here, or like the reanimated
Okay, so
corpse being here.
the exam table still bore multicolored bloodstains. The tools all still hung on their respective racks, as if they had been waiting for this very day. And there was a smell and there was a smell of decay.
Hmm. A pungent uh
Aroma
tang. What's the I'm
aroma
just trying to think of
of
like
I think just a pungent aroma of decay permeating the air.
we use permeate in the next sentence. Let's
Oh,
just have like hanging in the air or like in
okay.
the air.
Okay.
The room? No. In the area. The hmm. I think we do have to bring attention back to that aroma now, though, so that it's like um I'm trying to think of the word, so that it now calls back to this moment, and for the reader is aware that like this thing has been here the whole time in the scene.
Say again. Sorry, I was distracted.
I was saying I think now we call back to that aroma, or like bring attention to the aroma again now in the modern in the present scene, so that it calls back to what we just wrote and informs the reader that this thing has
Yeah,
been
he
relevant,
wants
has been here the whole time.
he'll once again notice the smell.
It's somewhat hand wavy, but
Yeah, one second, Blake. 1 second. Un momento. Estamos good lord. Estamos escribiendo un libro juntos. Mi español es muy malo. Anyway, okay. Yeah, let me add that line there then. Hmm. As he read over some of the first pages, Wolf once more, not smelled, once more,
maybe Wolf's attention was drawn to.
yeah, Wolf's attention was once more drawn to that, maybe not overpowering, uh, to that
Lingering.
lingering
Lingering
a
sense
scent
sense of rot.
scent of rot he had noticed earlier, or he had noticed upon falling into this room.
I'm gonna be AFK for a couple of minutes, probably like at most 5 minutes, if you'll excuse me.
Sure thing.
Just something I gotta take care of.
Okay. I think we'll probably take a BRB here too, actually, while Blake is gone. Yeah, actually, no, I can probably keep going for a little bit. We got an ad coming up in a minute, though. It was. As he read over some of the first pages, Wolf's attention was once more drawn to that lingering scent of rot he had noticed upon falling into this room. It was. Was what? It was what? Hmm. Let's see. It was what? Gracias, gracias. Y lo siento, mi español es mucho malo. Ugh. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, that was a scent volume. It was overpowering. No, it was. Okay, ads going on. It was what? God bless it. I can't decide. I think I'm starting to run out of creative juice. I think it seemed to be coming. Okay, no, no, I got it. Though it seemed to be everywhere in the room. Though it seemed to be everywhere in the room, there was one spot in particular that where there was one spot in particular where it seemed to be strongest, where it seemed to be coming from, originating, originating from. Yeah, I figured I didn't spell that right. Okay.
At long last, I have returned. How are we doing?
Not much progress. The closer
It
he
seemed to be everywhere in the room. No? Okay.
got to that spot, the stronger the scent became
Yep.
until at last Wolf could make out a humanoid shape impaled on the wall. Blake, you're muted. You probably know that actually. Uh, impaled. Mm, humanoid shape. What against the wall? Squish? No. I
Humanoid
guess
shape.
I'm gonna go with impaled
I
for
think
now.
yeah, impaled wax here.
Impaled against the wall. There was a length of pipe, or should it be some kind of weapon?
Hmm.
I don't think there'd be. I don't think there'd be rebar in a castle this old. Like that's kind of where the brain
You know
goes
what might be?
first. But what?
You know what might be an interesting thought here? I will say it should probably just be like some kind of metallic rod of some kind that was like lying around for construction or whatever. What if the end of this rod has like odd bits at the end of it, implying lightning has struck this rod over and over as like a very
Oh,
obvious reference?
I I could see that working visually. My question though is you know, how that would have happened in the fight, since this was well before anyone had elemental powers.
No, I just mean over time, lightning has struck
Okay,
this rod over.
while fair, remember
Because
this
this area
was
is like open, like the whole building is collapsed.
yes, but there was a surface layer of rocks kind of held in place by friction that would have prevented
Right, but So
I
the
feel like
implication is that nobody knew where this lab was, right?
true. Yes.
So then the fight wouldn't have taken place in this place, would it? It would have taken place on the top layer.
Yes.
So that's where the body would be, most likely, right? The body wouldn't be in the second layer, it would be in the top layer.
Hmm. Then why is the smell down there, and how
Um,
has nobody found it in the past 30 plus years?
well, how isn't well, we can keep asking that question, right? How had nobody found it at all if the body is also down there? Like, how in general has nobody found this place, given how convenient it was to like just hit this uh button and then boom, here's the secret entrance or whatever, you know?
Okay.
It,
Hmm.
it's just I'm trying to think of how the body would have gotten down there, for one. How um if the fight was taking place above ground, which it most likely was if nobody else in the world is aware of this lab. Um
Hmm.
because the implication is that uh our Promethean here got incapacitated during the fight, which means it's unlikely she herself came back down to the basement.
True. True. Um. Hmm.
I think this is pretty important to try and iron out. Okay.
Yes, definitely.
I just thought of
Well,
it like right on
okay.
the spot.
Here's a thought. Here's a thought.
Okay.
She's in an
Yep.
area that has since collapsed into the sub basement.
Okay.
Okay.
To be fair, this place is like pretty far off. It's not like it's being visited all the time, if
True.
at all.
Until that last wolf. We'll change that to could make out a human shape too. Until that last wolf came across ah, across a another no, yeah, another cave in similar to the one that had brought him into this lab. I need to hyphenate cave in. There we go.
Yep.
Should she be on top of the rocks or partially buried? I could see both working.
I kind of like have the visual in my head of her having retained just the tiniest bit of consciousness to have crawled to a corner or something. Right? So I think she's probably on top of whatever.
Okay, I
No,
was
no, wait. Even then the rubble is probably on top of her, but she is found having very obviously crawled to this corner or something.
or what about this? What if she was able to partially dig herself out before she shut down?
Hmm.
So she's
Oh, right, yeah, we're kinda
like
going with the
head,
idea of, like
and there's like her
yeah,
head and maybe a bit of her upper torso, and then like an arm is reaching out.
yeah, something that clearly shows she had a bit of consciousness for, at least, like, a good couple minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that works.
Let's see. This one seemed to be a result of what? Of some other outside force rather than see, this one seemed to be caused by I can't fucking type. Caused by an outside force.
Yeah.
Why is there okay? Rather than the initial collapse of the castle, comma, and sticking part way out of the gray boulders was a striking green arm, larger than even his own. Wolf was astonished by the sight. How had it not been picked clean like the other remains in
I'm
this
gonna I'm gonna jump in
place?
here. I feel like maybe this scene should end with the visual of the Promethean, right? Like so maybe it's like this section here is dedicated to him getting closer and closer and it ends with like and then Wolf saw something that truly surprised him. Uh
Okay.
a green hand reaching out from the rubble, and that's
Okay.
where the scene ends.
So this one seemed caused by an outside force rather than the initial collapse of the castle, and sticking partway out of the gray boulders was a massive green arm. Then, hold on a second. So
Mm,
like, so like,
let's
end it
see.
there.
Well, probably not. Hang on, let me see if I can write up an example of what I mean. Um, as well, we're using as so many times. Anyway,
Well,
Wolf
that's what edits are
inched
for.
closer, clutching the uh delicate keepers
Oh, we're on the second page.
um to his as he eyed the mound of rubble. It
Okay.
was clear to the man that this pile of old bricks and mortar was the source of that ever growing foul odor.
Stench.
Oh yeah, foul stench.
Yeah.
Um then we'd have like some filler here, something like, uh auditory or um visual auditory
I
or
got it.
visual
I got it.
senses there.
I got it. I got it. I
And
got it.
then
As he leaned in to examine the verdant limb, we'll say, he okay, my idea is he kind of almost goes right into the like he almost headbutts the head.
hmm,
He nearly collided with an equally equally odorous object. Glancing up, he was face to patchwork face with a creature born of nightmares.
there we go.
Yeah, all right, we're getting there. We're getting there.
Oh, I wonder. So, okay, we kind of mentioned this sort of yesterday. The idea that these two are going to be acting as brother and sister to an
Yeah,
extent.
to an extent, yes.
I wonder if that's not actually to an extent, and there is a genuine sense of familiarity here that he sees upon
Okay.
this face.
And okay, I got it. Yet, even as he felt the terror wash over his body, an odd sense of dot dot dot. Was it kinship? Yes, it felt, it almost felt as if he knew this thing from somewhere. As if it were, as if it were part of his family? No. As if it were, mm, delete that.
Hmm.
Yet, yes, it almost felt as if he knew this thing, yet he could not place where for the life of him. Even still, the terror was quickly replaced with, well, compassion, but sympathy?
Understanding.
It's more like he's like, okay, I need to get you out of here.
I'm gonna say instead of this, we have it
Oh
be
shit.
like,
I'm dropping
because I just thought of
frames.
something.
How am I dropping frames? Sorry, go
And
ahead.
bro, Google Docs just takes up so much. Anyway,
I guess so.
so I was gonna say instead of this part, I'd something just came to mind, which was something along the lines of oh shit, how do I word this? Um without reading the papers, he just knows that this is what his father was talking about.
Okay, okay. Okay, so even still, let me just get back to there. Even still, without consulting his father's research, Wolf knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that this was his father's greatest creation.
And then maybe this ends with the only spoken line from him.
Okay, what would
It's
that line
something
be?
like I'm thinking
We can't really do it's alive because right now she's not. I mean, she's not dead, but she's definitely not alive per se.
hmm. Okay, no, probably not. Okay. I, I had something in mind, but then I fucking completely lost it. So,
Oh well.
that's how that works.
Maybe just something like, "Let's get you out of here, my dear.
Eh.
There is work to do." Let's get you out of there. Let's get you out of there then. He said quietly to himself, we have quite a bit of work to do. All right. I think
Maybe
that's a
that
good...
should be an ellipses.
Oh, you think so? Okay, Rico fix. All right, I think that's a good spot. I think that's a good
Okay.
stop spot for the prologue.
Yeah.
We have written...
Okay.
Let me pull open the document in a form I can see it better.
Yeah. Or the
Let me open up Discord. I think the link might be in our DMs. Or, yeah, here it is. Okay. Yeah, we've written 2 pages so far. Or
not
let's
bad, not bad, not bad.
one full page into a second. How do we view
Yeah.
word count?
So go to tools,
Tools, word count.
and then word count is the second option. So we're
One.
at
All right.
1267 words.
I was gonna say that. Doggone it. All right. 1,267 words in one night in a nearly two
Not
and a
bad,
half
not
hour
bad, not bad.
stream. Yeah. No, we did pretty good. We did pretty good. I think we're definitely going to be wrapping things here. I cannot wait to do this
Yep,
again
makes
next
sense.
week. Now, I will say, chat,
Okay.
those listening, we are going to be working on this during the week, during the next week. However, when we come back, I will do a reading of what has been written, so that way y'all can be caught up, and then we can continue writing from there. This was definitely a lot of fun. I'm gonna work on getting some better background music. I mean, the tavern stuff was okay, but I need to find something a little quieter, a little more subdued, so you don't have to shout over it. And
Yeah, fair enough.
yeah, so I'm going to now. Blake, is there anything you'd like to say before I do my outro?
Blood Watchers, give us a subscribe. You know how it is.
Oh yeah, like, comment, and subscribble to this. To this. I can't even finish that. But yeah, no, yeah, it's if you're watching this on YouTube, it's always appreciated. I don't stream on here anymore, but there is a link to my Twitch in the description. If Blake gives me any links to things they want you to follow or whatever, they'll provide those to me, and those will also be in the description. There will also be links in the description to the first few books in this series. So kind of look for those if you want to read the series, catch up. This is book 6. You can currently read the first 2 on Wattpad. And Blake, how many are on AO3? Is it 2 as well?
We are at 5. We are at all 5 currently at AO3.
Then I'm going to go ahead and upload the next 3 on AO3 again. We'll just change
That
the
would
covers.
probably be a good idea.
Well, you're the one that told me to unupload them.
Yeah, those were the the previous ones before we did all the edits.
No, I know the edited ones. You had me unupload those as well because you wanted to like maybe make some
Oh,
changes and stuff.
right. Yeah, I remember now.
You dingus. Okay, so
Guys,
by the time you see
guys,
this,
you gotta follow for shenanigans like this.
by the time you see this on YouTube, all 5 of the first books will be available to read. And yeah. So until then, y'all, have a great night. Take care. Let's see if any of my friends are live right now. Zero's live, so we're gonna send y'all to Zero. She is playing Monster Hunter Wilds. So let me just do that. And y'all have a great night. Take care. And why is the raid not? There it is. Now it's working. Okay.
One is
Take
related
care.
to Tony Hawk.
Bye now.